Let's start the bloody show. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the House of Moody Vintage podcast. It's great to be back for another episode here. We're at episode 27. Welcome to the show. Welcome back here. I'm excited, as usual. Well, not as usual. Maybe not as excited as last week because it was so hype on a lot of things. I'm just tired now. Not the same type of energy. I sort of bypassed this weekend. You know, usually you're probably hearing me ramble about some club I went to or some bar I went to. Did none of that this weekend. It was very chill, very laid back. It was very, appropriate for my age kind of guy. Because y'all know I'm fucking old as hell, right? So I can't move like I used to, you know what I mean? No, but seriously, this weekend, man, my body was aching. Like it was, like my age was, kicking in. Like it reminded me like, hey, homie, time out. Let's take a time out. And slow your roll, pump your brakes. So just took this weekend to sort of, just kick back a little bit, just chill a little bit and forego certain things that you probably usually, hear me or see if you're following me on Instagram, what I'm usually doing on the weekends, right? So this time around, not necessarily radio silence, but, just it was needed. It was necessary to scale things back a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, I was relaxed. I was sort of re-energized and go into it. It's a new month, like I said last week. So looking forward to what this month has in store. I know there are certain things in the near future that I'm going to have to deal with. I don't know. I've never dealt with anxiety. That's not my thing because by nature, again, for those who don't know me, by nature, I'm very calm, cool, collected person. So anxiety's I've never really had to, a lot of people actually go through it. They have chronic anxiety and it's crippling, crippling anxiety. And it's a terrible situation. I've seen it with my own eyes, firsthand account of people who I really love and care about. And to just see them physically just break down, because of anxiety for what reason, and it's tough, it's rough. I'm just very blessed that I've never had to deal with that. I've never, I've been worried about things, but not necessarily to the point where I'm, not eating well or not being able to sleep. I was depressed. For about a couple of years back in, 05 through 07, 2005, 2007, so I know how that feels. I don't want to get back to that. That is not nice. That is not nice. And would never like to go back to that. I would wish that on no one. It's a very bad feeling. But just to jump back to, today, back into the modern era of dealing with stuff. And that was early 2000s. So, being depressed was just like, it was still in that era of like, oh, we don't need to talk about it. We don't need a therapist. We can deal with this shit, because we're so privileged. And the reason I bring that up because this weekend was really about not just recharging and just listening to the body, but also, just mentally, just reflecting on a lot of things, from who I am now compared to, back then and how we used to deal with certain situations. And there's a lot of that, especially now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me being me because it's how old I am or the stage in my life I'm in right now. But I've had a couple of very, very deep conversations with very close friends of mine, without, of course, getting into details. There were certain things that came up about depression or, admitting to the fact that we may have, an issue, that we're mentally fatigued, that we're emotionally wrecked and we need help. But it's very difficult for us, older generation folks, because, again, we grew up in that very stoic type of mindset, of just listen, just be grateful, count your blessings, appreciate your opportunities, take them. If you made mistakes, you made mistakes. You learn from them and you move on. Where we're meant to sort of like, just deal with your shit. You know what I mean? Straight up getting into that, David Goggins mindset. Stay hard, motherfucker. Stay hard. Ain't nobody else gonna carry the boats. You gonna carry the boats. So, we come from that. Unfortunately, we come from that generation. But there's a lot of accountability, even in this, not in the sense that just not only in the mistakes that you've made, but also accountability in putting yourself first. And a lot of that is sort of has to be not even relearned. We've never learned that. As kids growing up, watching our parents go through, because we didn't know what the hell that was, right? We just figured, it's just another one of those life things, life challenges. You sort of have to sprint and, jump over these hurdles to be better, mentally and be, okay mentally, or, you would just sleep on it. And that's kind of, and I would sort of, all of that would just be suppressed. And then there would be a moment where something would trigger it, and then snap of a finger, you're a erupting volcano, and that's not healthy. That's never been healthy, right? And there's that aspect as well as, and it just also reminded me of something else. Again, it's that we all evolve, we mature, and we make certain decisions given the circumstance. Weighing our options and sort of, measuring our options and just also the consequences of our actions, right? And it's not only did I have that conversation about sort of mentally struggling on certain things and not being able to admit that we have depression or things like that. And I don't want to bring the podcast down here. I'm not really going to focus too much on that. That wasn't the focus of this podcast. What I really did want to more focus on before I get into, I just realized I just really got into this thing without even, usually doing the preview of what I'm going to cover, because I will be talking about Game of Thrones, obviously, Lord of the Rings and other shows that are happening right now. That I will get to that, but I'm, saving that for the second part because I just really wanted to get this out of the way first because I thought it was just important to talk about. And so that was one conversation I had, and another conversation I had, again, it's that, like I said, just mentioned a bit earlier about evolving, maturing, and making decisions based on where you are in your life and the experiences that you've had. The years have gone by, and you're just a smarter, wiser person for it. And one of these things where one of my very close friends, this is crazy. For some odd reason, I guess it's the same time. I don't know how the universe works in mysterious ways, but I have more than one friend going through very similar things, and again, these are things that I've never had a problem with. Like I just mentioned, the whole anxiety thing. I've never had a problem with that. And also I've never had an issue. Well, I shouldn't say never. I think at the early stages, because when we're younger, we're not as smart. We're not as well-traveled, so to speak, and we just haven't, garnered that much experience as human adults. So this is another issue that I had maybe in earlier years of my life, in late teens or early 20s, but as I've gotten older, and I really adapted very quickly to it. And what I'm talking about is it's not necessarily an art, but having the capability to let go, and I don't just mean a romantic relationship, but any kind of relationship. It can be it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be even relationship with your family. Without getting, of course, into details, there are certain family members that I no longer have contact with, and by choice, or by circumstances, and from that, I've decided to, what, I've got to cut you off. And I think people need to be a bit more, firm when it comes to those kind of decisions of cutting people off in your life. And and other people, I think in most cases, people have a difficulty of letting go for whatever reason. If you're in a relationship, you're afraid that, oh, you'll never have this again, which is of course bullshit. But in the moment, we're thinking, this this is the end. I'm in love with this person. We're gonna break up, but I don't want to let him go, even though it's unbelievably toxic. I shouldn't be in this damn relationship. But because you see the good in people and you're just disappointed that this thing didn't work out because you've invested so much of your goddamn self into it. That's understandable. I get that, because you're fighting so fucking hard. Like David Goggins, stay hard in a relationship unless it's toxic, and they walk away. But sorry, I have to throw a little bit of comedy in there just to lighten up the mood a little bit. I'm getting real serious right now. But I was just telling my friends that you should never. It's never a blame thing, right? It's never. It's his fault or it's my fault. It's really just about accountability. It's really just about sort of like reading the circumstances or analyzing the situation for what it is, and you learn from it and you just move on. And those two parties, whether it's you and another friend or whoever it is in this relationship that you have, it's ended, right? The lifespan of this relationship has ended. That person goes that way, you go your own way, and that's that. So and again, I'm not a professional, obviously. I'm not a therapist, a psychologist or whatever. This is just from my experience and how I deal with it and how I have dealt with it. I've been very close friends with this with an individual who I no longer talk to. We were very close, very, very close for about 15 years. And just one day there was some topic or something. It was very petty, very petty. I didn't take it that far or take it that serious until this person did. And we were friends for 15 years, 15 solid years, a very long time, very close. Sort of like one of those been there, through thick and thin kind of situations, when so many of my other friends are like, dude, why are you still friends? Like, this person's using you, this person's doing this and doing that. Anyways, again, you learn. Some people like to learn the hard way, and I'm still one of those people where I see the good in people, and I really, really wish nothing but the best for that person. And because I try to see the good in people, I want our relationship to succeed. But there comes a point in time where you're sort of pushed off the edge, and this was one of those moments where I felt like, okay, this is enough. She had said something that was quite insulting, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, you've known me for 15 years. Why would you say something like that? That's weird, right? But also, it's just, it ended there, not in a snap of a, just happened overnight kind of thing, but it's like, it was just like an accumulation, right? It's just, those things sort of built up. It's the same thing that I had to do with my feelings as a, growing up, is, suppress those feelings, and then you suppress it so much, it gets to a point where, the volcano erupts, and that's, again, never, ever, ever a healthy thing. And it's also unhealthy, very unhealthy thing too, where you continue to feed energy to what that person has done to you. In the sense, and I was just telling my friends this, that take accountability, for yourself, and that's that. But if you continue to have a grudge on someone, and have these unresolved issues with this person, you're only giving them the satisfaction. You're letting this person. It's like when you enable someone's behavior, you're complicit. You know what I mean? Like, so you're as asshole, asshole level type of behavior coming from this person, but you're enabling it, then you're also to blame. Or you're also no, I shouldn't say blame again. Don't do the whole blame thing. That was a brain fart right there. Apologies. You're also part of the problem, right? You shouldn't be. Your solution is, okay, I see what's going on wrong right here, and I can't take more of this friendship or relationship, whatever the hell it is. It has to end. Like, it's not going anywhere, right? It's toxic. It's bad energy coming from both ends. And you just gotta walk away. You just gotta cut it off. And as long as you keep that grudge, as long as I've never held any grudges because of that. It's just sucking the energy out of you. You don't need to invest your time and energy in that kind of in that type of situation. or with this person. And it's not even down to personal. It's not like I would never wish ill on somebody. You go your way, that's fine. I go my way. You take care of your business. You take care of your business. I take care of my business. You take care of your business. And we just go on our own ways. And I wish you nothing but the best, but I don't want to associate myself with you, right? I've always been good of like disassociating or disengaging and being detached from this person. And it may affect me the first couple of days or maybe like a week or so. But, you know, you eventually sort of realize, okay, you know what? This is the best thing to do. There's no going back to it. Well, never say never. You know, there are times where two individuals are, you know, they're mature adults, they grow, they evolve, and then somewhere down the line, maybe their paths cross, and then they're cool again, and it's, you know, mutual respect there, and you get along, and that happens. It's reality. That's life. But the other end of that is, you know, no more talking, no more, you know, we're done. Like, we don't need to associate ourselves with each other. And that's cool too, because it's healthy. It's healthy for both of you. Well, you want to assume it's healthy for the other person. It's healthy I know that's healthy for me because I want to keep my sanity. You know what I mean? I don't want to like get angry or upset or, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm just, you know, it was just a weekend of reflection really. And just blessed over the fact that I've never lost sleep, you know, or had a affect my diet or something. I'm cool. Like I can function, you know, even though there's so much mental strife that I need to probably deal with in a more maybe a therapeutic way, which I haven't done. I've never been to a therapist, you know, never done one of those, you know, signing on to the BetterHelp, you know, reaching out to a professional. You know, I've never done that, and maybe I should. Maybe I will someday, but I just, again, maybe I am part of that problem or that part of that old era of, you know, maybe I don't need it. I don't think I need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need to go out and ask for help. That kind of mentality, which is, you know, it's bullshit. Anyways, what I wanted to say is that don't give power to the situation or the other person, you know. Just, you know, you made a mistake, dude. You've enabled certain behaviors. Don't do it again. You've learned from your mistakes. Move the fuck on, man. You know, we're adults. We're continuously evolving. You know, even though we still have our core characteristics there, we're evolving. We're trying to better ourselves. And these are one of those moments. You know, it's a teachable moment. It's a learning moment. Those kind of things. Like look forward to that, and you know, just detach yourself, and never feel guilty for it. You know, because whatever that person does is of no consequence to you at all. Whatever you do, bro, do your thing. You know, or girl, whatever. You just do your thing. You know, we don't need to be in each other's lives. There's no part in that. Whatever you do has no consequence. It's in my life and my life decisions because I'm living mine, you know? And you'll be better off for it. And you'll be so much, there's so much serenity in that. When you are able to detach, when you are able to sort of cut this person off, you know, from your life and move on, you know? Because pero like, you know, like you don't need those type of people in your life, okay? I don't need all that like drama for your mama shit. Like save that shit for your moms, eh? I don't want any of that. Listen, you better be obsessed with me, okay? I'm doing the Chicano thing over again. I can't get over. I need to share that clip with you guys. Of that girl on TikTok. She's a fine hyena, eh? She's fine, eh? So yeah, just save yourself the headache, save yourself the heartache as well, and just go on about your business, man, and just surround yourself with positive energy. And what I mean by that is, you know, people who, you know, who genuinely care for you, who genuinely want to see you succeed. It's whatever I'm telling you is nothing new. Nothing new. All of this under the sun, nothing new. This is just regurgitating things over and over again that you can use in life. It's really simple. But it's that inner battle that you got to really, really try to overcome, because that's what's stopping you from, you know, disassociating, detaching yourself from this individual who is not good for you. And you may not be good for that person, you know, just go your own ways and then, and just grow from that. Yeah. Anyways, that takes care of the, business, half of the podcast. Sorry for boring you guys there. I just wanted to really, I don't know. I just wanted to just these are things that just in my head, and you know, conversations that I have with, you know, very close people in my life, and you know, these are things that sort of we try to talk to each other about and look for solutions for. And I guess that in a way that is also therapeutic, you know, in a way. I think that's, you know, why not? Yeah, it's a good thing. It can't be a negative thing to talk about it, right? Anyways, you know what is a good thing? You know what is a positive thing? Game of Thrones. Dude, Game of Thrones, dude, episode 3 just came out, bro. And this show just keeps getting better. My God, I think something in my freaking eye. This show just keeps getting better. Like episode after episode. I think we're expecting as viewers, there has to be an episode where it's just like, not necessarily a filler episode, but you know, something that may sort of fall off a little bit. But no. Like all 3 episodes that we've seen so far have been fantastic. Has been amazing. Like House of the Dragon is just up there. It's up there. And did I say Game of Thrones? I said Game of Thrones. I think I said Game of Thrones in the beginning, right? Anyways, I guess it was a habit. Or maybe my mine is just jumping all over the place right now, because I'm just so excited about this fucking show. It's been absolute high quality shit. You know what I mean? High quality shit. We see more of it now. There's more action in this episode. Of course, we saw more action here. The pieces are moving, you know, gradually. We continue to see the deterioration of the King Viserys, you know, poor health. There's more strife now. There's more of a divide, more anger there between him and his brother Prince Daemon, and of course he's sort of drifting apart from his daughter, you know, Princess Rhaenyra, who of course we know where that's headed. But I am every episode, and again we have to keep in mind there are time jumps, right? We're fast forwarding from one episode to the next, you know, significant time jumps. But I have been so ridiculously impressed by Emily Carey, who plays the young Alicent Hightower, and Millie Alcock, who plays Princess Rhaenyra. These two actors, oh my God, like these two women, these two young ladies are so fucking good. I don't know what their screen presence is fantastic, and they're surrounded by veteran actors, okay? Proper, legitimate, quality veteran actors. Matt Smith continues to freaking, you know, steal the scene as Prince Daemon Targaryen. We saw him in action today. He was a effing badass. Daemon went on beast mode, okay? Of course, we saw later in the episode. There's a reason for that, what triggered that, of course. But I have just been floored by the performances. We know the writing is fantastic. The direction is fantastic. Production level, everything, all of that. Right now, it's definitely a better show than Lord of the Rings. But of course, I don't know, we're jumping into Lord of the Rings here really quick, and I will discuss it a little more further. But it is definitely leading Lord of the Rings, even though, you know, the first episode of Lord of the Rings was a little bit of a slow burn. It was sort of a setup, I understand. But we also have to understand that these shows, whether it be, you know, a Game of Thrones show like House of the Dragon or Lord of the Rings, it's not really made for the book readers, for, you know, longtime fans or who are really involved in the culture of it, like really, you know, they have this in-depth knowledge of it from the pages of the books and the source material. That is a very, very small percentage of the audience. The average audience have never read a single page of either of the books, you know, whether be it Lord of the Rings franchise or Game of Thrones, you know, Song of Ice and Fire. They've never read it. They just want to be entertained. They want to watch a show or a movie or whatever it is, and they just want to be entertained. That is the average audience. People who've actually read the book, very, very, very small percentage. Not even the double digits. You know what I mean? A very small percentage of the audience have actually read the book and the source material. So you have to understand that the the filmmakers, the showrunners, they're making a project that can be seen by everyone, not just the book readers. So yes, of course they have that, they will do their best to adapt, onto the big screen, as in like whether it's a film or a TV show, of course. They will do their best to adapt that material and put it on screen. And it's a different medium. People need to understand it's a different medium. So it's not going to be exactly like the books. It will never be exactly like the books. But the filmmakers will do a damn good, try their best, their hardest, to put out a product that not only appeases the fans of the books, but more importantly, actually entertain the average audience, because that's their main sort of like, eyes. Those are the eyes that you actually want on your show, because a very, very small percentage of the audience have actually read the source material, right? So their perspective of it is completely different from the majority of the audience, which matters most. So, but said that, we've only seen 2 episodes of Lord of the Rings. Second episode was way better. Of course, that felt more like Lord of the Rings. And I understand. Listen, I loved both episodes. I liked both episodes. I loved episode 2. But I totally understand why some people, there was some criticism saying that it was a slow burn, episode 1 slow burn, or it was boring. That had nothing to do with how wonderfully shot it was, the performances, but it was just the pacing of it. It was just the story, like, where are we going? Why is this taking so long? It should set it up, Fortunately, episode 2 came in and kind of balanced it out and, put a more positive uplift to it for Lord of the Rings. So with that said, then you have House of the Dragon, which knocked out of the park every effing episode. And I hope that Lord of the Rings sort of, they got episode 1 out of the way, they brought it back with episode 2, and they just keep that momentum going from episode 2, just the way Game of Thrones did. But of course, they were like off the bat, which has been, again, fantastic. And we've only have 7 episodes left, right? But given that that the comparison there, I have just been floored by Emily and Millie, their performances. Again, I'm going back to it before I got sidetracked there. Apologies, but it was I don't know. It just keeps getting better, and I'm just like bummed out a little bit. It's kind of bittersweet because I'm really enjoying the performances, but I know they're not going to be there in every episode. I know there's going to be a huge time shift where we don't see the young versions of them anymore, and that sucks because I love these 2 actresses. They're so effing good, and they're holding their own in scenes with Patty Considine and Matt Smith and the other actors. They're so freaking good. And the overall the episode was fantastic. There was action in it, of course, but I'm still impressed by the non-violent type of the non-violent scenes in it as well. And again, you're seeing this character evolution, this growth from each of the characters. Again, like I said, the moving pieces, you see where it's going, and they're doing such a fantastic. I've never seen this on such a high production of a television show, where the pacing is brilliant, because we know that they're fast forwarding from episode 1 to episode 2 to episode 3. They're moving months ahead. They're moving years ahead. But the pace has just been, we feel like we're not misplaced in the timeline, which feels weird because they've done such an incredible job with the pacing of it, which I find incredibly impressive. So the standards just keep getting higher, one episode after the next. And thank George R.R. Martin and the rest of the showrunners. Of course, Miguel has left, but he will be involved one way or another, but not as close as he did in the season 1. I don't know why I have this accent, because Miguel Sapochnik. I was kind of bummed that he left, but they brought in another veteran of Game of Thrones for the House of the Dragon, season 2 and going forward. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it's just, one episode after another. They're just raising the standards and continuing to do so, and it's just fantastic. What a amazing effing show, dude. What an amazing effing show. With that said, I hope you guys have, that was no spoilers, by the way. I hope there wasn't any spoilers. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. We talked about, Daemon Targaryen as the, badass beast mode. Homeboy knows how to fight. You know what I'm saying? There was a little bit of Legolas there. I saw a little bit of Legolas. He was very agile in his movements. It was such a badass scene. There's an actual battle there, of course, in the Stepstones. And yeah, the actresses again, they were fantastic. Power of the Rings. Dude, it is the most expensive television series, film, whatever it is. It is the most expensive. But it's paid off in the sense that you see it in the production value. It's effing amazing. It's fucking beautiful. The scope of the damn show is crazy good. It's brilliant. I just hope that, again, like I said, they just carry on that momentum from episode 2 into the following episodes. And another one of those sort of momentum bringers, or if I may say, has been on the new season 3 of See. Okay, See, you see me, See, which of course is Jason Momoa's television show that he stars in for Apple TV Plus original. Season 3 is out. It's been fantastic. I really love that show. I really do. It's such a cool world concept, and Jason Momoa is a badass in it, as per usual. He is Baba Voss, in this world, Baba Voss. I think Baba Voss is probably more badass than Aquaman. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you've seen the show See, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so that's been great. Season 3 is I think only a couple of episodes are out. So they are actually also doing what Apple does is they do the weekly thing, right? Every week, new episode. Same thing with Bass Sisters, which I've was gushing about in the last episode. So they also do the weekly thing, which I actually love. I know, Netflix is notorious for the whole let's stream it, let's binge it stuff, but there are shows like House of the Dragon, like Lord of the Rings, or like See or Bad Sisters or whatever, where the weekly episodic structure it works because it's number one, it's something to talk about. Number two, it's something to look forward to. No, sorry. Number one should be something to look forward to the next week, in its regular schedule. And number two is that you actually talk about it, around the water cooler kind of thing. And it's just more excitement around it. There's more buzz around it. People still talk about it for weeks, right? If we're talking about 8 episodes or 10 episodes, we're talking about 8 to 10 weeks of just, discussing each of these episodes, each of these shows that we see on these wonderful streaming platforms. And What We Do in the Shadows is still going on, in their latest season. It's still funny. It's still just, it's just great. It's fucking great time. It's a good time. So I love that. Reservation Dogs, same, another FX show there, which has been, again, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful show. It's, all Native American production, Native American actors and so on. And, not all of them are Native American, but the majority of the cast, the filmmakers, all Native American. They're so freaking talented, so wonderful. So I don't need to say too much about Reservation Dogs because it's just really fucking awesome. And it's a Taika Waititi production as well, so it's gonna be fucking good. Yeah. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. That was my sort of roundup review of shows that are currently on right now that are good, that I would highly recommend you watch. And we're just looking forward to what's to come for House of the Dragon next week. And I'm always so tempted to like rewatch these episodes because they're so damn good. They were so damn well made. And yeah. Anyways, just appreciate it again, guys, for listening in here. Me ramble, just nonsense. I hope you guys enjoyed my topic on breaking bonds with people, breaking very what you thought in the beginning was a strong relationship is no longer. It is deteriorating. You're about to burn bridges, and I really hate that, and I don't want that. I don't like burning bridges because what do you gain from it? You know what I mean? You don't. I mean, burning. Okay, when I mean, there's a difference between disconnecting, disassociating, and burning bridges. Burning bridges is like you're intentionally wanting to fuck things up, which is stupid. And it sucks when those two parties can't come together and figure it out, because we want to do just to figure it out, but unfortunately it just doesn't work out. So yeah, if you've learned anything from this stupid guy talking and rambling on today's episode of House and Moody Vintage podcast, and I appreciate everyone listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and if you're watching it on YouTube, thank you for subscribing and watching. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, if you've learned anything from this episode, is just to don't hold on to fucking grudges, man, and don't hold on to something that has already taken place. It's done with, it's over, and you just got to detach yourself from it and don't enable the types of behavior that is not good for you or the other person, to be frank. These are all unhealthy things. Do healthy things. Make healthy choices when it comes to, your emotional well-being, your mental well-being, because that's incredibly important. If those two things do not align physically, you will feel like shit. All right, and mentally, it just gets worse. Anyways, just take that. Just take that, okay? And don't feel guilty for, don't feel guilty for cutting things off with somebody. It's not personal. It's for your personal well-being, but nothing against the other individual or the other party or parties involved. Just move on about your business, man. We are too old to, well, I shouldn't say we're too old, but we're grown-ass adults, and we should be making mature decisions that is good for everybody, not just for yourself. All right. So with that said, guys, take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves again. And again, if you've learned anything from this, man, just walk away, brother, or just walk away, sister. Okay. Either way, I got your back. Anyways, much love. I will catch you guys next week. The same bat channel, the same bat time, or is it the same bat time? Same bat time, same bat place, the same bat channel. I don't know how it goes. Anyways, I'm not Batman. Until next time. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out of this. Peace. Mug place. Peace out.